to Maypole Farm as we look at the back end of the Ursus and hear lots of cows moving. I'm unusually playing with the sound on, and I am almost live. Well, no, I'm recording the voiceover as I play the game because I want to try and get a video out, and I thought I'd do it this way. Sometimes I do that, sometimes I do the voiceover afterwards. So I have really one job I want to do today, but that involves two jobs. I want to get the grass cover crop into the 3 fields that need a grass cover crop. Not all of the video may have me live. I may switch at some point. Yeah, so I'm going to get courseplay going on 2 of the fields. Come on, I bet I can get you. I must be able to get you in there somewhere. Do I need to switch? They're multiple. No, if I close it. There we go. Maybe the seeds go in the back. It's interesting trying to do it realistically. I'm going to go with it's not going to work. I've had this problem with trying to fill seeders before. Yay. This is going swimmingly, isn't it? This is why sometimes you don't do things like this. It is seed that I've got on the front there. Yeah, it is seed. Sometimes you can't always do things the way you want to. Right, cool. We've got some seed. Let's bung it on grass. I'm going to whiz over to these 2 fields. So fields 11, 12 and 16. Field 16 needs ploughing, which we're going to get on with in a bit. And yet again, I have been on ChatGPT, the AI language thing, because I think last time on here, or maybe on here, maybe not on here, maybe I did it on Furling actually. You don't very often see people use these spaders that are in game, which also act as a plough. And I considered using one of those, partly because I can get a bigger working width for less horsepower. Close that up. But I was wondering whether I should be doing that, and so I asked ChatGPT, in farming, when would you use a spader instead of a plough? And I'm half thinking it's got confused between a spade and a plough, but maybe not, because basically what it says is a spader is typically used in gardens, orchard and small scale farming. That sort of makes sense to me, and it's just used to turn over and aerate the soil. Spaders are typically smaller than ploughs and are better suited to working in tight spaces and hilly terrain, and that makes sense to me because if you look in the store, and we look at spaders, they are, they're a lot shorter than a plough, so that makes sense to me. So I kind of believe it. And then in contrast, ploughs are typically used for larger scale operations and used to turn over and bury crop residue, which is what we need to do because it was a field of maize. So we're going to use a plough, not a spader. That was a really long way of telling you that I think I need to use a plough, not a spader, but I think ChatGPT is quite cool. So I'm going to set this working on courseplay. I'm going to delete that course. I'm going to try and set up a new course. I think we'll do 4 headlands. Smooth is fine. Big headland overlap. I always like doing a big headland overlap so you get less missed bits. Generate me a course. Awesome. And I need to turn around probably. I need to put it so I can see the first waypoint. I hate not seeing the first waypoint. Just how I am. And yeah, well, I need to tell it not to use fertilizer. Oh, an option for that. Left shift B. Let's see how we're going to go. I think I might need to jump into the courseplay settings to do this, but we'll see. Yeah, I'm going to let courseplay plant the grass on these 2 fields. Are you going to start? Are you going to start? Are you starting? Where you going? So you might be wondering, why did it tell you you can't plant grass in August, because generally you can plant grass in August. And you are right. If you have watched this series all the way through, you might remember that I had, is that going to work? Yep. I had a really long period where I was getting grass seeding contracts constantly, and it was basically every grass pasture, it was offering me a contract to reseed it. And that was taking away from baling contracts. I haven't been doing that with baling contracts, but I didn't want to be constantly reseeding all the grass pastures on the map. So I disabled the ability to plant grass because I didn't need to. So that's why it was offering me, or why it was saying that I could not plant grass in August. So I've just gone back in and re-enabled it in the growth calendar. So we need a plough, and I am going to drop the front loader off of here. Yes, I know that would be a bit of a pain in the backside to do, but it's going to take me a fraction of the month. Here we go. It's got quick disconnects and all that kind of thing, so it's not too bad, honest. Yeah, so wild course plate hopefully smoothly plants those fields with grass. We are going to lease ourselves a plough. And we're probably going to have to go for the Agramaz. That's 160 horsepower. I could go for a GT plough. Slightly GT plough, a disc. I'm not convinced a disc like that would break up corn stalks. So we're going to go for the Agramaz, so 2.5 meter plough. Going to cost us about 900 quid to lease, unless we have to use it for a really long time. So probably the same plough that I used last time I had to do ploughing on here, and in, I think, probably the same field. I think I had to plough this field last time. The cows are all good for food and stuff, so we're just going to crack into the field work. That's a good question. Yep, I'm on 2-day months on here, so this is the last day of August, so we are going to get this job done. The tractor does need a repair. I'm hoping it will be okay. Because I'm being cheap. Probably going to cost me in the long run. It's not a real tractor, so it will be okay. After that, I think we'll probably be looking at starting to work on prepping the big field next to us. That's going to have wheat going in it, which can go in September. So, yep, that'll be a job for next month, get that planted. Doesn't need ploughing, and we've got a direct drill, so we're good there. So probably we'll just get that drilled. I might get some fertilizer on it first. Yeah, and I usually end up picking the wrong direction to start the first plough line, but this is what I'm going for. We'll work it out after that, and off we go. So yeah, no GPS obviously, and we are missing the odd bit again. Oh, don't do this to me. This may force me to switch to the other type of plough. You may remember that in the past this tractor has had issues with ploughing, and we've kind of got away with it. So I'm in European units as well. That's because the last time I played on here I was on Plowing, which is the series for the patrons. So I think I'm going to say thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members, including a new patron. Thank you, Eagles Garage, for signing up after taking a little bit of a sales pitch the other evening. Why can't I find the units? I can never find the units. There we go. Pounds and kilometers. I'm actually going to put it into manual gearbox, because I think that will make things easier. Because it seemed to be hunting gears a little bit. So we'll try that. That's missing a lot, isn't it? We'll see how we go on the next couple of rows. If it's not going to work well, then I am going to go and get a disc rather than a real plough, because we don't really have a lot of other options. So all of this grass that's going in is going in as a cover crop, so that we can just keep kind of two jobs: keep the weeds from growing on the field, And also, I will get some grass off it, hopefully, in the spring before we plant everything. I do this quite a lot, so not a surprise to any regulars that watch that I'm putting grass in as a cover crop. I need actually, do any of you play with the crop rotation mod? I don't, but I wonder whether I should. I used to love the crop rotation calendar in FS19 seasons, and one of the reasons I used to like using grass as a cover crop, particularly if you're doing maize, is it would give you a bonus, and you could do back-to-back maize and not really take too much of a hit in yield, and you get a grass crop out of it. So from a silaging point of view, it was really quite cool. So yeah, do any of you guys use the crop rotation calendar? I think it's released now. I think it ended up getting released. It was on GitHub anyway, but yeah. Looks like course plate is doing okay. I'm just going to try and straighten up our run here. Desperately wants pause. I want to check the map and see how course plate is actually doing. Yep, that's going okay. We're going to need to drop down a gear to get going again. Hey, Paul, look, if you're watching, I'm manually changing gears. Not properly, but I'm manually changing gears. Oh, there's another question for all you real tractor drivers. Would you be shifting ranges or gears? I'm thinking gears, maybe. So maybe we need to drop it into B, and then we'll shift through the gears. I don't know. The only reason that I'm going that is that, you know, like driving a 4x4, you don't shift between the line low and high. You go into low and then change gear. Okay. But that's kind of my thought on that. But no idea. Someone will correct me, I'm sure. And we've not got the diff locks on yet. We should probably throw those on. And we're not getting the skipping now, so cool. We are going to stick with this plough, and I'm going to get a bit of work done, and I'll see you in a bit. We're making pretty good progress, and course plate is making very good progress, and it's nearly finished in the other field. So once it does, I'm going to jump over there and we'll just tidy up the edges, and set that going on the next field. It is going significantly quicker than I am, obviously, because it's a seeder that's 5 meters wide and I'm a plough that's not 2.5 meters wide. But yeah, it's going pretty well. The skipping all stopped after the first row, so I'm just going to leave those bits. We'll be direct drilling this anyway, so we should probably put something over this before we direct drill into it, because it's not going to be a nice seed bed to drill into, is it? Well, the game's going to let me, so that's okay. And maybe want some sort of roller on the front or something. But like Paul does that kind of thing when he does his seeding. He has something on the front of the tractor. We do not have a front 3-point on this one, but we do on the Deutz, so maybe we could. Now I want to look. I'm guessing base game there aren't any front mounted cultivators, or no, not really anything suitable. Oh well, we'll just crack on as we are. Yeah, maybe you get a second tractor out and run a set of discs over it, so to do that. In fact, the worker has finished. I'm not sure why it's used worker C when I have so many options for names that it can pick of actual people, but hey, EA Farm Sim. So what I'm going to do is switch over, pick you on a worker, and we'll jump in the Deutz, which still has a tiny bit of seed left, but not a lot. A little bit, not a lot. Probably only moderately funny. Maybe not even moderately funny, even if you are from the UK and know who that was. Anyway, after that slight weirdness, we'll let's get the rest of this seeded, shall we? think we might need to run back to the yard and get some more seed before we do the second field. I did pick up there. Come on. Oh, it's because I'm in manual gearbox, isn't it? Oops. Just taking a bit of a hammering there. Let's go up in high. Pretty sure you wouldn't seed in high 6, but you know we can change back down. Wow. Like a real tractor driver. It's close enough. And Cosplay did a really good job of not missing any gaps in the headlands, which is cool. Yeah, I think we're going to run back to the yard and grab a bag of seed. So I'll do that and I'll be back. I just cut that out because it's a bit of a repetitive drive. Looks like the worker is doing okay over there, which is cool. We have a store delivery point set near here, so we'll go for a big bag. I'll try and actually put it in this time. We do Control N. I should have looked to see which chamber the seed went into when I actually filled it up, but I didn't. And hopefully I've got the weight on the back, should be good. Gears. There we go. This one's not got ranges. Okay. I say definitely makes ploughing easier, and I did it when I did the rolling as well, or leveling in the pit with it as well. But for some things it doesn't help. I think almost sent the Ursus flying there. Come on, you can make it round. Make it round. We need a bit more height. Right. Okay. Here's a bit of health and safety. And we'll put it on the end of the forks. It's fine. Oh no, no. I don't have to go and buy a bag lifter. Don't fall off. Don't fall off. Maybe I've got the right one open. That looked like it was going to do it. Almost. There we go. Yeah. Success. I think in the UK you're not allowed to do this. Okay, not success. I think the health and safety people get very upset if you pick up bags of stuff on forks. My only knowledge of that is from Ollie Blogs, when I used to watch his videos, and him saying he had to go and get a bag lifter because they were told by the health and safety people that they couldn't pick them up with forks like that. So yeah. And the game does have some really nice bag lifters for front loaders, but I'm being a bit late. Cheap. Both. And then that happens. Oh well. And we almost managed to fill it. We should have more than enough for what we need. I can actually get the seed out of the yard. What I'm pondering is whether we let Helper do a bit of the ploughing now. We do a bit of seeding. Just to do something different. Because otherwise I'm going to spend most of this video ploughing, and that might get a bit dull. So we'll head over to the field, and something I do, I'm going to pick these bits up as well, something I do find when I do the video like this is I chat a lot less. I don't ramble quite so much. I think it's because I'm concentrating on what I'm doing and not just rambling away to myself. So there is that. So that's maybe not so great. I suspect some of you may not have enjoyed this one quite so much because I'm not rambling as much, but you know, we have to vary things. Well, we don't have to vary things a little bit. I'm varying things a little bit because this is a way of me getting the video done in time. So yeah, that's why. Oh, because I want to try and keep to my video everyday schedule, so this allows me to do that without having to spend Not quite twice as much time, but about 50% longer actually getting things done. So that's why, if you're curious. And part of the reason I'm doing that is I mentioned in the video for the patrons that my dad is having some health problems at the moment, and I'm going over to see him tomorrow afternoon, which is cutting out some time. So yeah, that's why. Trying to get this done a little bit quicker. He's been having some issues with blood pressure. He's had blood pressure issues as long as I can remember, but he's been having some other health issues linked to it. So yeah, had a few trips to A&E, and so I would like to go see him. And I'm doing that on Friday afternoon because I don't work Friday afternoon, so that's why. Yeah, I'm not going to say much more about that. If you want to learn more, join Patreon. Yeah, enough of the selling. I've done enough selling of that this week. I feel really bad actually for pushing that stuff too much. It's not something that comes particularly naturally to me. So yeah. Anyway, I'm back home now after travelling. In fact, maybe you won't be by the time you see this, which is kind of weird. I'm going to get in a better gear. I've taken my headphones off so I can't hear what the engine's doing quite so well, so that's not so great for doing this, but that feels okay, I think. What I might do is run the headlands and then stick this back on a worker so I can jump back in the Fiat to do the headlands of that job. Might be sensible. This is the squarer field, so that would work quite well actually. And so yeah, these are just cover crops. We'll have fertilised them obviously that last time, so we should get decent yield off them if we get to cut them. We might get a partial cut off of them, or we have to seed. And think. Trying to remember what these are all going to be. I can't. Thought I could fit around there, but I can't. I think there's going to be some beets. There's going to be some maize. I think soybeans actually was the other one, which is going to be a cash crop. Yeah, that was it. So some of those are planted later than others, so some will get a full cut off, some will get a partial cut probably. But 3 should be enough for the worker to turn around, I think. So we'll do the same thing at the other end, and then we'll be good. And I'm hoping by that point the Fiat will have done most of the rest of the ploughing and we can switch back. Like I planned it. Well, I actually planned to do it, just should core play to do these 2 fields, but I changed my mind. I can't see through the tree line to see how the ploughing's going. Pretty well. Pretty well. About a third of that field left. Perfect. And then we'll have some woodlands to tidy up of varying sizes. We'll just try and get most of that picked up because it's cover crop going in, so we could deal with the missed bits next time. I did ponder using a subsoiler actually, but so the benefit of ploughing it is we don't get weeds. We don't get weeds with grass anyway, so that may have been a wasted effort actually. Yeah, oh well. That may have been a wasted effort. But I suspect when I replant it, I will get weeds. I think that's going to go straight back into corn next year, so doing corn on corn is something that I do quite a lot. And that comes from playing FS19 seasons where mixing corn into a crop rotation was always quite difficult. But as I said before, you could do corn, grass cover crop, corn indefinitely and you'd get a good yield. I think you got like a 10-12% bonus, something like that. Can't remember. But yeah, that always worked really well with FS19 seasons. Really am tempted to add in crop rotation mod. We'll see. We'll see. I'm curious as to if any of you are using it and you've had success with it or issues or anything like that, because adding in new script mods is always a bit of a twitchy moment, you know. Never know quite how well they're going to work. A lot of people were excited about it earlier when it was releasing, but I've not really heard anyone talk about it since. So yeah, let's switch over to the Fiat. We're back in the Fiat Agri and haven't made as much progress with Plowing as I had hoped. I have checked the status of the maintenance of the tractor and it is 96% damaged, so we will be having to deal with that, I'm pretty sure, before we use it for any more jobs. One thing I did want to have a little bit of a ramble about was Discord. Apart from the fact that I have a really awesome Discord community, which I really enjoy, I appreciate, I almost got my account hacked, I think, the other day. I did mention it on Discord. I had a message from someone, I'm assuming they had their account hacked, and it looked really legit. And it was a link to a Discord, and it was like, check this out. And I clicked on it because I'd just woken up and I hadn't had coffee. And then it took you to another, either Discord or conversation, where it was basically asking you to confirm you weren't a bot by scanning taking a picture of the QR code on, you're using the QR code on the screen on the Discord app, and I'm pretty sure what that was trying to do was get control of your account, in that if you scanned that QR code, it would log your account into their device. So I use the QR code scanning quite often to log into Discord on my PC if I need to. If I've changed something, whatever. Or, yeah, because it's the easiest way to do it. But what I think they had done is basically sent the QR code for them to be able to log into your account or an account on their device. And yeah, that would have been rather bad. Now I have two-factor authentication set up, so it's unlikely that anything would have happened, because the next step would have been for it to text my phone with a code, so that would have been fine. But yeah, something to look out for, I guess. I know Cartech had the same thing come from someone else, or someone else's Discord, so yeah, I'm glad I woke up enough before it was because I was doing it on my laptop, and it's like, I need to get my phone. Now that seems dodgy. And then went through the whole process of changing passwords and logging everything out and all that kind of thing, which really sucked. But yeah, so be alert, basically. Have two-factor authentication on your Discord accounts, and on every account. Well, every account that you value the information that's stored in it. If it's got anything that's personal or whatever, or your email accounts or that kind of thing, use two-factor authentication. Yes, it can be a bit of a pain sometimes, but it's better than having your account hacked. Yeah, I think they were on my Discord. There's certainly, yeah, I think someone, yeah, there were people that were on my Discord that had their accounts hacked, and they were on my Discord as well. And sometimes it will get you booted from a whole bunch of Discords, because people don't want that stuff. Because quite often when your account's hacked, they post porn or links to more hacks. So that will quite often instantly get your account booted from the Discord, so they can't post any more malicious stuff. So yeah, look after that kind of stuff and be alert as well. I'm quite lucky that I'm naturally suspicious generally of that kind of stuff, and it was really unfortunate actually that it came from someone that I have had conversations with in the past. I guess that's how they pick who they message, and so I was half thinking, oh, this is probably a legit message, and it really wasn't, because Cartech had the same message from someone else. So yeah, that was kind of my rambly bit for today, really. I'm not feeling overly rambly today. There's been a lot of travelling this week. There's been a lot of driving. There's been a lot of real world stuff as well. And that's taken the ramble out of me, I guess. That's kind of better for doing a video like this, because we're just doing a job, and that's fine. It's Thursday. For reference, I think this video will come out after the weekend, depending on if we do multiplayer. I haven't spoken to Cartech yet. I know he's having a mental week and has not done anything, so it's possible there won't be a multiplayer video this weekend, or won't have been, I guess. And the reason I'm saying that is because if that's the case, it might change the day that this video comes out, because I'm trying to get to the position where I have a few uploaded so that if my schedule changes, I can shuffle things around. So you might have noticed this week that happened. I had hoped while I was travelling to record a lot more, and I did not. So I had planned to do a double video on Tuesday, because the Timber War videos do not do well, but I enjoy making them, so they're staying for now. But I planned to do the Attingen video as well, so I had that uploaded, and I didn't get the stuff recorded that I planned to later in the week, so I moved the Attingen video and ended up moving it 2 days, because then Elisha released his textures pack, and I thought that was something to get a video done on quicker. So yeah, that's kind of what happened with that. Wow, that game sound is loud. It's going to be fun to edit. It might not be loud for you now when you're watching, because I edit the sound, but looking at my meters in OBS, it is mighty loud. Like louder than me loud. So yeah. There are a few things that I was curious about, actually. We'll go into a ramble again. One thing that I've been pondering doing, and I don't know whether I will, but I know there are some of you watch that make your own videos. I was curious if you were interested, or if you thought people would be interested in a short series on how I do my videos, like the different steps, what I used to record, what I edit in, how I edit, how I do the sound, how I then do the post edit. So there was that, and the other thing is, yeah, I do a lot of editing, and well, I sort of do. I skip some steps. That's why you occasionally see me drive through a hedge, I guess. But it's quite a long process, actually. If not so much doing a video like this, because there's a step that's taken out. But when I make a normal video, so I sit and play the game, which is awesome. Yeah, I love playing Farm Sim, not a problem. I then take all the footage that I record, I edit that into a video that just has game sound, if I remember to record game sound. It's not happened before, has it? And then I rewatch that video and talk over it. Twice, often quite rambly, because I'm just watching someone play Farm Sim chatting. And I then take that sound, go back into the editing software, mix the sound, take out any of the random things that might happen whilst I'm recording, like a dog bark, that kind of thing. Try and get a good balance between the game and me, which is not always easy. I've been pushing the game sound up a bit lately. No one's complained so much, I mean, it's a good thing. And I then render it and upload it. I generally don't watch the rendered video. I've already watched it a few times, and I hate watching my own videos, which is weird, because I said I would make videos that I would like to watch. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's kind of the process that I go through. And time-wise, I think it takes me about maybe 20 minutes, half an hour to edit the game footage once I've recorded it. The same to record the voiceover, about the same to edit the sound, and then render time is irrelevant. So yeah, it's about roughly the same amount of time that I play the game I spend then producing the video. I'm not complaining at all. Typical Mr. CP, not complaining, just explaining. That's the process that I go through to make a video. I just thought you might be interested in that. Looks like the work is done. They've got all of the field, which is cool, so I'm just going to leave that tractor there, and we're going to finish ploughing off. And that might be it. I had hoped to get this field seeded, but I'm thinking this might be quite a long video already, so I'm going to finish doing the up-down rows, and I'll be back. So we're back, we are pretty much done. I ended up doing the other headland off camera because I've realised this is actually about the kind of length of video that I want. So I'm going to do the feeding of this field off camera. It's just planting grass, you've just seen some of that. So yeah, because we've done enough in August, I think. So yeah, I'll do that off camera. Just gonna get the corn piece. I'm awful at ploughing. And yeah, next video we'll be back, and we'll be in September, and we'll be planting wheat. So you'll get to see me do some more planting anyway with the same planter, with the same tractor. I might use, no, I've done a lot in the Fiat Agri today, so yeah, we'll bust the duets out. I've got a few skip bits again. I did pick up some of the skipped bits on that run coming back down the field. It seemed like a sensible idea. Yeah, a lot of wheel slip as well. I think we really need a weight on here, so at some point we need to invest in getting the front linkage fitted. I think that would probably help quite a lot on here. We're doing ploughing anyway. Maybe if I'd left the front loader on, that would have put a bit more weight over the front wheels, but yeah. Oh well, we're pretty much done. We haven't had too many issues, so it does do well, this Fiat. It's a really good workhorse tractor. So with 30 hours on it already. I think I bought it new. I'm going to call that good enough. So I'm going to say thanks for watching, folks. If you enjoyed the video, click the like button, comments, questions or suggestions below. If you aren't, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and I will see you next time on Maypole Farm.